Hello, and welcome to this short video demonstrating how to embed SAP Predictive Analytics machine learned models into SAP BI Clients, facilitated by Hannah, by the way. This presentation is being recorded by Kurt Holst. However, the tool set and the, the model was also built by Adam Baikal. So let's see how it works. This first slide sort of demonstrates what it actually is that we are trying to achieve. We would like to show how to use predictive analysis to build a machine learned model, then export this model into SAP HANA, and finally use our model inside any BI client such as SAP Business Objects, Dashboard Designer, could also be Web Intelligence, or for instance also Design Studio. And of course, the benefits from this is that you will be able to embed advanced analytics in easy-to-use SAP BI clients such as the Dashboard Designer and, as mentioned, Webby or even Design Studio. And allowing this to happen will increase the audience to actually use these kind of tools. Predictive analysis and maybe data mining is not always for everybody. But using this approach, you will be able to provide real-time advanced analytics in a very intuitive and visible dashboard. And we'll show you an end-to-end example here. So in the end, a lot more users can benefit from this using predictive analysis together with HANA and our BI clients. Okay. So let's see how it actually is set up. If you have a high view architecture picture here showing here at the top, we have our predictive analysis and infinite insight, which are our two data mining tools being merged to one later this year, I'm told. And using these two tools, you can build advanced analytics. You can build and train your model. Once you have trained your model, you have your mathematical equation that you would like to bring to maybe easier to use tools such as Dashboard Designer, dashboards. And as shown here, what we're doing is that we are saving our model back to HANA, and HANA will then be the facilitator for the requests coming from the dashboard. That's what we will be showing here in a neat little example. So let's go and start. Now jumping to predictive analysis, where I will create a small model showing an end-to-end example of that. And I would like to start by creating a new document, a new predictive analysis, and I will use HANA. It already remembers where I was last time, so I will use a dataset called my training tab, my training data, and then I will connect to HANA with my authentication here, and I'm happy with this training set, so I will just choose next. It will then show me what kind of fields I have in my data. I have 5 columns in here. I have humidity, outlook, temperature, wind, and something called a class label. What I will be trying to predict here is, well, just for the case of the example, trying to make something simple, I will try to predict whether we should be outside playing golf, determined by the humidity, the forecast or outlook, the temperature, and the wind conditions. There could, of course, be anything, but this is to show you an example that's quite easy to replicate in your own environment. So now predictive analysis has fetched my data, and I'm now going into the predict area where I see here I have my data. And as a normal approach, I would then go into my data preparation, either do normalization of my data, binning, filtering, or sampling. We can do a sampling. Saying that I'm only interested in seeing, let's say, simple random of 10,000 records if I had them in. That's good. Then I will choose my algorithm, and since what I'm actually doing here is what we call a binary classification, then there are some different algorithms that can assist me with that. In this case, I will not go into details. There are some other documents describing that. I will choose a decision tree because I like it and it's quite good in a binary classification, and it also presents a disease entry that's easy to communicate with, for instance, the business. So now I've added this decision tree and I have to enter my parameters, selecting what columns are driving my class label. That's what I'm doing here. So I have selected humidity, outlook, temperature, windy, and my target variable is then my class label. That's all good. So now I have my complete predictive workflow. I would like to run this one. Now predictive analysis running through the HANA J decision tree. It's now finished. And I can go to my result tab. And it will then show me another column that actually isn't in my data from the start of, namely my whether I should play or not. So here I have my predict column that is built by predictive analysis in this case. And as mentioned, I could also give a model representation using the quite intuitive way of looking for what fields are actually driving my predictions. I could also see an algorithm summary. In this case, it's not that complicated. And of course, a so-called confusion matrix that will give me an indication of how good my model is actually doing. And this is, of course, engineered data, so it's quite good. It's able to predict when not to play 5 out of 5 times, and also 9 out of 9 times how to play. Normally, you would, of course, also see some misses, but this is engineered data to show this example. So now I have a trained model. I would like to save this model back to HANA now, so that I'm capable of using it in my SAP BI clients. If I wanted to use my predictive analysis end-to-end, I could also do that. The next thing I would do was to add another sample here with my validation data, and then I will use my trained model on top of my validation data. But in this case, I will save my model. Give it a good name here. And I will save it. And as you see down here in models, I will now have another model that I can choose from. And this model, I will now save that back to HANA. As you can see here, I have an option for exporting my SAP HANA model back as a stored procedure. That's what I want to do. I will give it a name, into a schema that I know. Then I will save it back to HANA. So now predictive analysis is communicating with HANA and saving back my model. I will then enter HANA and see how it looks in here. I will open my procedure, update my list of procedures here, and we should see a new one. Yes. Here we have the procedure that predictive analysis saved back to HANA. This is now my machine learned model, and of course, in cases where you have lots more data and so on, it will be more complex. But this is to show you the example end to end. So this is now something that I would be using in my dashboard. And let's go to my dashboard that I have created for this purpose. As you can see here, I have a dashboard and I actually built a universe with a few data, fetching my data that I had from before. So now I have my data, I have my training data, and then I have my class label that we saw before. And what I want to do now is to use the HANA in-memory capabilities of predicting. So, but not only that, I will also be entering new data so that I can see whether I should go out and play golf or not. Yeah. I have two different buttons here. I can read from HANA and I can send data back to HANA. So in this case, I'm looking at just ID1 here. I would like to read from HANA and entering my credentials here. It will now predict whether I should play golf based on these four parameters. I can change my variables here. I would like to have rain, and maybe the temperature should be a little lower. Let's say that was my predictions. Then I would like to send these back to HANA. That's what it's doing now here. And now I would like to read from HANA. Oh no, don't play golf. So that's something it did within seconds. Do another example here. Sunny and increase the temperature a bit, decrease the humidity, and it's not windy. So let's see. Sending that back to Hannah and asking for new data. And as you can see, don't play golf. And it is updated very fine here. So that's actually an end-to-end example of how to embed advanced analytics inside a SAP BI tool such as a dashboard designer. In our article that we have where we have described this, you can also see the code, what's behind the buttons here, and it's quite well described. So you should be able to do this yourself in, of course, more advanced cases than the example that we have just shown here. I hope you enjoyed the small video here. Thanks a lot for watching.